So today's thought of the day is something very intriguing, like balancing logic with intuition. So let me ask you, how many of you have stood in front of your wardrobe for 20 minutes, logically analyzing which outfit of yours matches the weather, the occasion, and your budget, but only to grab the first thing that felt right? That happens with me many times, yes. Thank you. Or maybe you've spent hours researching the perfect college course online, comparing placement rates, faculty credentials, but deep down, something was whispering about that creative writing program nobody talks about. So, welcome to the eternal dance between your logical mind and your intuitive heart. Think of it this way: logic is your compass, and intuition is the wind. You need both to sail safely and swiftly through life. Your compass, logic, gives you direction, facts, analysis. But your inner CA, always calculating pros and cons. But the wind, that is the intuition, gives you the energy to actually move. It's that subtle knowing that doesn't need a PowerPoint presentation to prove itself. So we can say logic is your planning committee. It's the voice that says, Beta, engineering is safer than art. Or this boy has a good family background and stable job. So logic loves spreadsheets, 5-year plans, and asking, what's the practical benefit? On the other hand, intuition is your inner GPS. It's what makes you instantly comfortable with some people and uneasy around others, even when they look perfect on paper. Now, it's the feeling that nudges you to take a different route home, only to discover later that there was an accident on your usual path. So you took the right decision. And for the Indian women, especially, we're often taught to value logic over intuition. Don't be emotional, they say. Think practically. But here's the thing: dismissing intuition is like throwing away half your intelligence. Let me share something about Priya. She's 19-year-old from Delhi. She's choosing between two job offers, making detailed Excel sheets, comparing salary, growth, prospects, commute time, even the office canteen ratings. She's analyzed everything except how she actually feels about the work. And 3 months later, she's earning well, but feels hollow inside. Why? Because she logicked herself into the wrong choice. So when we over rely on logic, we get many times analysis paralysis. That is spending 3 hours researching which Netflix show to watch. And decisions that look perfect on paper but feel empty in practice. Or relationships that make sense but lack spark. Or career choices that satisfy everyone except our own soul. And now let's go to Kavya. She's a 25-year-old from Mumbai. She follows every gut feeling. So she is the intuition minded. Quits jobs because something doesn't feel right. Ends relationships because the energy was off. And moves cities because she needs a change. Now, while her spontaneity is admirable, she's also broke, exhausted, and her family thinks she's lost her mind. So when we over rely on intuition, we get impulsive decisions we later regret, lack of practical grounding, difficulty explaining our choices to others, and financial and emotional instability. So The real power lies in the dance between both. Let me share a story. There's a friend of mine, Meera, who's choosing between two marriage proposals. And I'm sure many of the women today would have gone through this phase. Logic said proposal A, better family, higher income, same caste. That's what we see in marriage proposals. Proposal B, lower salary, different background, but something about him just felt right. Now, instead of choosing immediately, she did something brilliant. She listed all the logical factors, but then she also sat quietly and asked her body, when I imagine my future with person A, how do I feel? And what about person B? Now, with A, she felt safe but restless. And with B, she felt excited and peaceful simultaneously. So she chose B. And 3 years later, they built something beautiful together, love and financial stability. So that's what happens. For example, in career decisions, research the field thoroughly. That is logic. But also notice which opportunities make you feel energized versus drained. So that's intuition. In relationships, check if someone treats you well and shares your values, but also trust that feeling of ease or tension you get around them. And while parenting, set consistent rules and boundaries. So that's logic. But also tune into your child's emotional needs and your parental instincts. That's intuition. And then comes the most important part, our financial choices. Budget and plan wisely. But also notice when that great deal makes your stomach clench with worry. So here's what I want you to try this week. Take any current decision you are facing, big or small. One, feed your logical mind because we have to work on the logic. We have to strike a balance. So list the practical reasons for and against each option. Research, analyze, consult others. So the logic step is done. Then, second, feed your intuitive heart. Sit quietly, take 3 deep breaths, ask your body, what choice honors both my wisdom and my inner knowing? Third, notice the difference because we have to balance them out. How does each option feel in your chest, your stomach, your shoulders? And number four, choose consciously. Pick the path that satisfies both your practical needs and your deeper sense of rightness. So here's what I have learned. Your logic is not the enemy of your intuition. And of course, vice versa. They are dance partners, not opponents. In our culture, we often see emotion and rationality as opposing forces. But the women who truly thrive, that is in careers, relationships, life, are those who have learned to honor both their analytical mind and their intuitive wisdom. You don't have to choose between being smart and being wise. You don't have to choose between being practical and being authentic. So, here's my challenge for you. For the next 7 days, before making any decision, what to wear, what to eat, how to respond to that text, pause and check in with both your head and your heart. Ask yourself, what does logic suggest? And then ask, what does my intuition whisper? Watch how this simple practice transforms not just your decisions, but your entire relationship with yourself. Because when you learn to balance logic with intuition, you don't just make better choices, You become a more complete, more powerful, more authentically you version of yourself. And isn't that exactly what the world needs more of? So remember, logic is your compass, intuition is your wind. Use both and watch yourself soar. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.